Welcome back to Dr. Gilbert Healthy Aging. I am Dr. Gilbert. In my decades as a surgeon and neurological researcher, I've examined thousands of seniors whose lives were upended in a single second. Most people assume catastrophic falls are caused by slippery roads or weak knees. But inside the operating room, we see a very different physiological reality. The true threat to your freedom is an invisible neurovascular drop that happens before your feet even touch the floor. It is that quiet, morning lightheadedness that slips into your bedroom when you wake up. Yet the answer to disarming this hidden trap isn't expensive medicine. It lies in a simple, centuries-old Japanese physiological habit in today. We are going to shine an uncompromising, highly precise medical spotlight on a silent, slow-motion neuro-respiratory disaster that is taking place inside the bedrooms of millions of aging Americans. It is a profound physiological breakdown that I refer to in my clinical practice as the thoracic Valsalva spike and cerebrovascular ischemia loop. It is a hidden, systemic cardiovascular trap that actively starves your brainstem of oxygenated blood, throws your inner ear levelers into total spatial disorientation, and makes a sudden, dizzying fall beside your own bed almost mathematically inevitable after the age of 70. Let us sit down together and have a completely raw, honest clinical conversation about an unspoken, heavy anxiety that millions of you face in absolute solitude behind the closed doors of your own homes. Have you noticed that when you swing your legs out of bed and brace your arms against the mattress to push your body weight upward into a standing posture, you involuntarily hold your breath, tighten your throat, and grunt with mechanical effort? Do you find that the exact microsecond your feet press into the floor and your torso reaches full vertical height, a sudden, ghostly wave of internal dizziness hits your skull? A dark, swimming sensation behind your eyes that forces you to freeze, hold your breath even tighter, and desperately reach out to grab your nightstand or bedpost just to keep the room from spinning? If you recognized your own automated morning routine in that description, I want you to focus your mind and listen to the sound of my baritone voice with absolute, undivided attention today. You are unknowingly caught inside an escalating neurorespiratory crisis. The universal Western habit of holding your breath, a mechanical bracing maneuver known as the Valsalva Maneuver, whenever you exert physical force to stand up, is systematically starving your central nervous system. You are not safely bracing your spine, you are actively commanding your thoracic pressure to spike, crushing your vena cava, cutting off venous blood return to your heart, and causing your cranial blood pressure to plunge off a cliff the moment you exhale. In the mainstream world of modern primary care medicine, I see physicians and physical therapists make a fatal diagnostic error every single day. When a senior over 70 reports morning lightheadedness, dizzy spells, or unsteady footing upon rising, they are treated with passive, commercialized laziness. They are told to accept it as an inevitable consequence of aging, given heavy prescriptions for blood pressure-altering pharmaceutical drugs that simply mask the breakdown, or told to passively sit on the edge of their bed for 10 minutes and wait for the fog to clear. But as a general surgeon who has held the fractured bones caused by these precise morning dizzy spells, it is my professional duty to look you directly in the eye and share the raw, unfiltered clinical truth. Hiding from movement or passively sitting on your mattress waiting for dizziness to pass is an absolute medical failure. Avoidance does not heal your autonomic nervous system. It actively accelerates cerebrovascular stiffness and baroreceptor decay. If your brain's master navigation computer, the cerebellum, is starved of oxygenated blood for just one split second while your inner ear fluid is sloshing, your knees will instantly buckle, your hip will collapse outward, and your body will crash violently against the hard, unyielding floor. I did not create this comprehensive, ultra-deep dive masterclass to leave you sitting in a state of psychological discouragement or helpless fear. Fear is a paralyzing, toxic emotion that serves zero therapeutic purpose in your longevity journey. Quite the opposite. Today, I am going to hand you an absolute, scientifically validated, and highly concentrated physiological shield of safety. In this episode, I am going to reveal a remarkably simple 10-second respiratory habit, inspired by the ancient Harai abdominal breathing technique practiced for centuries by Japanese kabuki performers and martial arts masters, that possesses the unique biological power to instantly stabilize your intracranial pressure, flood your brainstem with oxygen, and completely eliminate morning dizziness after age 70. This specialized autonomic breath protocol requires zero expensive medical devices, zero prescription drugs, and can be performed effortlessly right at the edge of your bed every single morning. Yet, despite its simplicity, this single habit possesses the unique physiological power to equalize your intrathoracic pressure, stimulate your vagus nerve trunk, keep your carotid baroreceptors razor sharp, and grant you absolute vertical stability from the very first second your feet touch the floor. If you are truly ready to stop rising in fear, permanently eliminate that terrifying morning swimming sensation in your skull, and walk through this world with the absolute physical confidence and unyielding dignity of your youth, turn off all background noise right now. Eliminate all distractions, focus your mind, and let us break down this deep anatomical knowledge together. This will be the most critical hour you spend on your health and longevity this year. Before we unlock the elegant neurological and respiratory engineering behind the Japanese Harai method, take a brief moment to click that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. By doing so, you join our global healthy aging family and ensure you are always equipped with the real clinical truths needed to protect your independent freedom. Now, let us uncover the hidden neurovascular collapse that occurs inside your thoracic cavity and brainstem whenever you hold your breath to stand up after 70. To permanently eliminate morning dizziness and understand why holding your breath when rising destroys your cerebrovascular balance, we must analyze the human nervous system through the strict, unyielding laws of fluid mechanics, intrathoracic pressure dynamics, and autonomic reflex arcs. Maintaining stable oxygenated blood flow to your brain when changing postures from lying flat to standing upright is not a simple mechanical act. It is an extraordinary hydraulic victory. When you are young and your vascular networks are resilient, your body manages the continuous downward pull of gravity through a high-speed automated survival circuit known as the autonomic baroreflex loop. Your carotid sinuses, located at the bifurcation of your neck arteries, contain microscopic pressure sensors that monitor blood flow to your head every single microsecond. The moment you stand up, gravity attempts to drag nearly 800 milliliters of blood downward into your abdomen and legs. Your baroreceptors register this sudden drop, instantly signaling your autonomic nervous system to constrict blood vessels and adjust your heart rate, maintaining a flawless stream of arterial blood to your cerebral cortex. However, as we pass the major biological milestone of age 70, a devastating physiological trap occurs during the morning rise, driven directly by the universal Western habit of executing the Valsalva Maneuver. Look at the four-stage hydraulic catastrophe that takes place inside your chest and brain when you nictitate, hold your breath, and grunt to push yourself up from your bed. The first stage is intrathoracic pressure hyperspike. The exact microsecond you close your glottis and contract your abdominal wall muscles to exert physical effort, the air pressure inside your chest cavity surges dramatically. This sudden wall of pressure crushes your delicate thoracic blood vessels. The second stage is superior and inferior vena cava collapse. Your vena cava veins are the giant, thin-walled hydraulic conduits responsible for returning deoxygenated blood from your body back into your heart. Under the crushing weight of high intrathoracic pressure, these massive veins are physically squeezed flat. Venous return to your heart's right atrium drops by up to 80%. Because your heart cannot pump blood that it does not receive, your cardiac stroke volume plummets instantaneously. The third stage is the post-exhale rebound collapse. You stand up while holding your breath, maintaining artificially high pressure. But the exact microsecond your body reaches full vertical height, you naturally let out your held breath, and you exhale forcefully. The elevated pressure inside your chest vanishes in a split second. Because your blood vessels are now wide open and your heart chambers are underfilled, your blood pressure drops off a cliff, a severe condition known as post-Valsalva orthostatic hypotension. The fourth stage is inner ear and cerebellar ischemia. With your blood pressure temporarily crashing, the oxygenated blood supply traveling through your vertebral and carotid arteries to your head dries up for 2 to 3 critical seconds. Your cerebral cortex goes dark, and the fluid-filled semicircular canals of your inner ear, your vestibular gyroscopes, are starved of oxygenated arterial blood. Your brain completely loses its spatial orientation. The room spins, your eyes lose tracking focus, and your legs go heavy and wooden. You did not experience dizziness because you are old. You experienced dizziness because your breath-holding habit systematically starved your brain of blood. To reverse this crisis, we must adopt an ancient Japanese breathing mechanism that neutralizes thoracic pressure, stimulates the vagus nerve, and maintains continuous, pressurized arterial blood flow to your skull every single microsecond of your morning rise. Let us now move away from physiological breakdown and focus 100% of our clinical energy on the concrete, life-saving solution. I am going to teach you how to execute the Japanese Harai Breath Matrix, known in traditional Asian longevity arts and martial kinesiotherapy as the Tanden Exhale Launch Protocol. This is the absolute 10-second respiratory habit that will transform your morning stability and completely eliminate your fall risk after age 70. When seniors complain of morning dizziness upon rising, the standard medical advice they receive is, just sit still on the edge of your mattress for a few minutes until your head stops swimming, and make sure you hold on to heavy furniture. But as a surgeon, I must look you directly in the eye and tell you that passively sitting and waiting for dizziness to clear is a profound failure of preventative care. Sitting passively while your intracranial pressure fluctuates does absolutely nothing to train your autonomic nervous system. It leaves your thoracic pressure unregulated and leaves you completely vulnerable to a sudden dizzy blackout the moment you finally step away from your bed. We must do the exact opposite. We must implement a conscious respiratory pattern that actively prevents the pressure crash from ever occurring in the first place. We need a specialized breath movement, inspired by the traditional Japanese Harai technique used by kabuki actors to project power from the deep lower abdomen, the tanden, without straining the throat, that keeps your glottis wide open, prevents thoracic pressure spikes, and manually stimulates the vagus nerve trunk to stabilize your heart rate in the exact microsecond your body moves against gravity. By practicing this simple breath habit right at the edge of your bed every single morning, you ensure that your cranial blood pressure remains rock solid, your inner ear levelers stay fully oxygenated, and your body rises into space with total, unshakable vertical stability. Let us execute this therapeutic masterclass together right now. Imagine you are sitting on the edge of your mattress in the morning, ready to stand up. Follow me through the 4 precise sequential phases of this autonomic respiratory reset. The first phase is engineered to completely eliminate the breath-holding habit, ensuring your throat remains wide open and your intrathoracic pressure stays completely neutral. Sit upright on the edge of your mattress with both feet flat on the floor, spaced shoulder-width apart. Place your left palm flat over your lower abdomen, about 2 inches below your belly button, your anatomical tanden center. Place your right palm lightly against the mattress beside your hip for balance support. Consciously pull your shoulders back and down away from your ears, lengthen your spine, and lift your chin until it is parallel to the floor. Look directly straight ahead at an eye-level target on the opposite wall. Before you make any physical movement to stand up, open your mouth slightly, relaxing your jaw, tongue, and throat. Take a quiet, gentle 2-second inhalation through your nose, letting your lower abdomen expand softly into your left palm. The second phase uses an open glottis audible exhalation to actively prevent thoracic pressure hyperspikes while stabilizing your core abdominal wall. Maintain your eyes locked on your horizon target and your throat completely relaxed. begin to slowly exhale air out through your slightly parted lips, making a soft, continuous, audible ha sound, exactly like gently fogging up a glass mirror with your warm breath. As air begins flowing smoothly out of your mouth, consciously contract your lower abdominal muscles beneath your left hand, pulling your belly button gently inward toward your spine. Because air is actively exiting your lungs through an open throat, the pressure inside your chest cavity remains completely neutral. Your superior and inferior vena cava veins remain wide open, allowing an uninterrupted torrent of venous blood to pour directly into your heart chambers. The third phase synchronizes the physical movement of rising with the exact midpoint of your audible exhalation, ensuring maximum oxygenated blood flow reaches your brainstem during the gravitational transition. While continuously maintaining your soft, audible ha exhalation through your lips, do not wait until your lungs are empty. At the exact midpoint of your exhale, about 2 seconds into the breath out, begin your physical movement to stand up. Lean your torso forward slightly from your hip sockets, keeping your spine long and straight like an architectural column. Drive your body weight straight down through your heels and front foot pads, contract your buttock muscles, and rise smoothly upward into a tall standing posture. Throughout the entire 3-second physical journey from sitting to standing, never stop exhaling. Keep the soft ha sound flowing out of your mouth continuously. This guarantees that your heart receives uninterrupted blood return and pumps a continuous, high-pressure surge of arterial blood straight up your neck arteries to your brainstem. The final phase uses visual stabilization and diaphragm positioning to lock in vagus nerve stimulation, permanently settling your inner ear gyroscopes the moment you reach full height. The exact microsecond your knees reach full extension and you stand completely tall, complete your exhalation cleanly. Take a slow, deep, quiet recovery breath in through your nose for 3 seconds, letting your chest and abdomen expand naturally. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your chin parallel to the floor, and your eyes laser-focused on your horizon target. Do not look down at your feet. Hold your standing position completely still for 3 full seconds before taking your first step. Feel the absolute clarity in your head, the total stability in your visual field, and the firm, rooted sensation of your feet anchored to the earth. Practice this exact Harai breath timing every single time you rise from a bed or chair. Why is this simple Japanese breath habit so profoundly effective at erasing morning dizziness after age 70? Let us analyze the undeniable vascular and autonomic physics taking place inside your body. When you maintain an open glottis and execute the audible ha exhale in phase 1 and 2, you completely eliminate the crushing intrathoracic pressure spike. Your vena cava veins remain fully open, allowing an uninterrupted reservoir of blood to fill your heart. When you synchronize your upward physical movement with the midpoint of your exhalation in phase 3, your heart maintains maximum stroke volume precisely when gravity attempts to pull blood downward. Oxygenated arterial blood blasts straight up your carotid arteries, completely preventing the blood pressure crash that causes dizziness. Finally, when you lock your eyes on the horizon in phase 4, your vagus nerve sends an immediate calming signal to your cardiac pacemaker, stabilizing your heart rate and allowing your inner ear levelers to calibrate with absolute precision. In just 10 seconds, you replace a dangerous vascular crash with flawless cerebrovascular autonomy. Now that you thoroughly master the precise physiological mechanics and execution of the Japanese Harai Breath Matrix, we must establish the precise medical dosage, scheduling protocols, and long-term biological timelines of how your autonomic nervous system and arterial walls will adapt and heal. In senior longevity medicine, a physiological breath protocol operates exactly like a targeted cardiovascular pharmaceutical compound. If you perform it randomly or ignore the laws of daily consistency, your central nervous system and baroreceptor reflex arcs will fail to construct permanent, protective structural adaptations. To achieve complete cerebrovascular stability and permanently insulate your brain against morning dizzy blackouts, I want you to perform this simple routine every single time you rise from a seated or lying posture, with special emphasis on these two critical daily windows: the morning bedside ignition, the autonomic awake reset. Execute the 4-phase Harai Breath Protocol the very first time you rise from your bedsheets every morning. During 8 hours of horizontal sleep, your parasympathetic nervous system dominates, slowing your heart rate and relaxing your blood vessels. Performing the Harai exhale as you stand up forces your autonomic system to switch seamlessly into active, pressurized stability, eliminating morning fog and preventing stumbles on your way to the bathroom. The post-meal rising reset, the Splanchnik guard. Execute this exact breath sequence whenever you stand up after sitting for meals, especially after lunch or dinner. After eating, a massive volume of your arterial blood is redirected to your stomach and intestines to support digestion, a physiological state known as postprandial splanchnic hyperemia. Rising rapidly after meals is a primary trigger for severe dizziness in older adults. The Harai exhale prevents splanchnic blood pooling and keeps your cranial pressure rock solid. Let us also look at the fascinating chronobiology of baroreceptor sensitivity. Clinical autonomic data demonstrates that human arterial baroreceptors display their lowest neurological sensitivity during the first 60 minutes after waking up, driven by circadian fluctuations in cortisol and baseline vascular tone. Performing the Harai breath routine during this early morning window manually overrides this sensitivity lag, training your blood vessels to constrict with lightning speed. What should you expect to experience as you maintain this daily protocol consistently? Week 1. The Autonomic Awakening. During your very first 7 days of utilizing the Harai exhale, you will notice an immediate, dramatic reduction in that dark swimming sensation behind your eyes when rising. The sudden wave of lightheadedness will disappear, replaced by total visual clarity and immediate mental sharpness the moment your feet touch the floor. Month 1. Baroreceptor recalibration. After 30 days of daily consistency, the microscopic stretch receptors in your carotid sinuses undergo functional recalibration. Their neural sensitivity increases, allowing your autonomic nervous system to automatically regulate vascular tone with minimal conscious effort. Your baseline standing blood pressure will remain stable, and chronic fear of falling will begin to fade from your mind. Month 3. Cerebrovascular remodeling. After 90 continuous days, your cardiovascular system achieves long-term structural adaptation. The smooth muscle cells lining your cerebral arteries regain elasticity, arterial stiffness decreases, and your brainstem establishes an unshakable wall of protection against postural pressure drops. You will rise from beds, deep chairs, and automobiles with absolute physical confidence, total mental clarity, and complete sovereignty over your movement. As a physician and general surgeon dedicated to senior physical autonomy, I must remind you that practicing your daily Harai Breath Matrix is only half the equation. You cannot expect to permanently eliminate morning dizziness if you are unknowingly committing 3 common, destructive lifestyle errors inside your own bedroom every single morning. These everyday habits actively wreck your blood pressure regulation, starve your brain of oxygen, and undo all the autonomic healing we are building. When the morning alarm rings or duty calls, many older adults throw off their bed sheets and immediately spring upward into a standing position in one rapid, explosive motion. From a neurovascular standpoint, this explosive movement is an absolute disaster for an aging body. Jumping up rapidly gives your hardened carotid baroreceptors zero time to calculate gravitational blood displacement. A massive volume of blood drops instantly into your lower legs, causing a severe, acute drop in brain blood pressure that can easily cause a complete fainting episode, known medically as postural syncope. My strict clinical correction: never spring out of bed rapidly. When you wake up, spend 30 seconds lying flat while wiggling your toes and ankles. Smoothly transition to a seated position on the edge of your mattress. Take one deep breath, and then execute your Harai exhale launch cleanly. Because seniors feel unsteady when rising, they almost universally drop their chin completely down to their chest and stare intensely at the carpet or their slippers while pushing themselves upright. Dropping your head forward physically compresses your carotid arteries and jugular veins against your cervical vertebrae, severely restricting blood flow to and from your brain. Furthermore, looking down completely uncalibrates your inner ear fluid levelers, removing all visual horizon reference lines from your cerebellum and actively generating intense spatial dizziness. My strict clinical correction: keep your chin up, parallel to the floor, at all times. Pick a fixed target straight ahead on your bedroom wall at eye level, a picture frame, a light switch, or a door latch, and keep your eyes locked on that horizon target throughout the entire rising movement. After 8 hours of horizontal sleep, your body is in a state of acute overnight dehydration, having lost nearly a full liter of fluid through respiration and perspiration. Dehydration drastically reduces your total circulating blood volume, making your blood thick, sluggish, and prone to pooling. Furthermore, stepping out of warm bed sheets into a freezing cold bedroom causes sudden, chaotic peripheral vasoconstriction that confuses your autonomic blood pressure controls. My strict clinical correction: keep a glass or insulated flask of room temperature water directly on your nightstand. Before your feet ever touch the floor, sit up and drink 4 to 8 ounces of water to preload your vascular volume, and keep a warm robe beside your bed to protect your body from cold temperature shocks. My dear friends, as we draw this comprehensive neurovascular breathing masterclass to a close today, I want to step away from clinical terminology, step away from anatomical diagrams, and speak directly to your heart, not just as a surgeon, but as a trusted companion on your journey of aging. Reaching your 70s, 80s, or 90s is an extraordinary, sacred milestone. It is a triumphant season of life that should be completely defined by your personal freedom, your hard-won wisdom, your peace, and your joy, not by physical restriction, daily anxiety, chronic dizziness, and a constant, creeping fear of your own bedroom floor. You have spent your entire life working hard, sacrificing for your families, and building the very foundations of our communities. You have earned the absolute right to live this golden season of your existence with uncompromised physical dignity, with your head held high toward the horizon, and with the complete physical freedom to move through this world entirely on your own terms. Losing your balance, feeling that terrifying wave of lightheadedness whenever you stand up, or being forced to freeze in fear beside your bed, is not an organic, inevitable consequence of getting old. It is simply a physiological puzzle, a puzzle of compressed blood vessels, uncalibrated carotid baroreceptors, and subconscious breath-holding habits. And as we have demonstrated together today using the profound science of autonomic physiology and respiratory alignment, every single piece of this puzzle has a logical, scientific, and remarkably effective mechanical solution. Do not allow the passive, assembly line attitudes of modern medicine to dictate the boundaries of your personal world. Do not accept a life that slowly shrinks into a single safe chair, a quiet bedroom, or a rolling metal walker. Your body remains an absolute miracle of biological engineering, fully capable of neurovascular recalibration, arterial adaptation, and autonomic recovery until the final breath you draw on this earth. You do not lack the inherent capacity to heal, you simply lack the correct clinical blueprint. Now, today, you possess that blueprint. I challenge you right now, as your physician, the moment this video finishes and the screen goes quiet, do not just sit there in stagnation. Stand up from your seat, pull your shoulders back, lock your eyes on the horizon, open your lips, execute your very first Harai audible exhale, rise smoothly into space, and turn your internal vascular engines back on. send the immediate, powerful signal to your body that you are ready to stay strong, ready to protect your nervous system, and ready to reclaim your physical sovereignty. If you found today's masterclass deeply valuable, please share it immediately with your husband, your wife, your siblings, your neighbors across the street, or anyone you love who struggles with morning dizziness, unsteadiness, or fear of falling. Let us eradicate the shame of physical decline and protect the independence of our seniors together. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time, your trust, and for opening your heart to me today. Subscribe to our channel, move with deep intention every single day, honor your magnificent physical temple, execute your daily Harai breath resets, and I will see you in our very next clinical episode. Stay strong, look straight ahead at the horizon, and step forward into your day with absolute, magnificent power.